the subject of psycholinguistics in my dual perspective as a future teacher and former ex-student of a degree in natural sciences. I can say that the subject of psycholinguistics awakened within me some critical perspectives from the perspective of psychology and scientific perspective. It seems curious to me how the psycholinguistics was born from the union of linguistics with psychology in the 19th century. And many of the concepts seen in the various units of this class and even in the documents presented in class are vestiges. Some things really old that are not able to use today. Attempts to explain neurobiological events without having access to observing them in the brain. It can seem how Brown's 2007 book and Thomas Scovel's Psycholinguistics, published in 1998, or if we go further to the behaviorism of all the life, have become outdated over time. All these exposed in the first 4 units of the class that are a view into a distant past of experimentation without delving into the neurobiological basis that explain the events which are exposed in Unit 5 and 6 of this classroom, where many of the theories are answered no longer with theories, but with neurobiological facts in specific parts of the brain. Let's take some examples. Maybe the first one is behaviorism, the famous theory of punishment and reward, that today is easily explained with the binary nature of the synapse of the dendrites of one neuron and the axon of another neuron, where the excitatory transmission occurs, which is the neuronal equivalent to the reward of classical behaviorism, the inhibitory transmission, that will be the punishment in the classical behaviorism, or even the modulating transmission, that will explain the adaptation to stimuli and specific responses. Or also, as today is explained, why the child exposed in the first units during the acquisition of the first language learns through imitation. And there is an explanation for this, where the ability to imitate the first language of the newborn child and acquire it progressively is explained in turn by the mirror neurons, that are the organism of the brain that makes the imitation of concepts and create the ability to acquire the first language. And then this was seen in the units of the class. My reflection after this brief summary of all the units during the class is how I managed to unify many new concepts in psycholinguistics with my extensive pre-knowledge of the exact sciences in modern neurobiology, which they have transformed my complete vision about the nature of the acquisition of a second language and the explanation of how to acquire the first language through the combination of the psychological theories exposed in class and the basis in the brain. Something that I find very useful for teaching and learning a foreign language, to the point of taking up all ideas from my past as a scientist in another career to improve my future as a teacher using a combination of neurobiology and psycholinguistics. In particular, Unit 6, with the language disorders of the brain, the aphasias that include autism, where I felt identified because I suffered from the Savant syndrome and understood how I have a different structure in my broken wording area that gives me super capacities to learn different languages, but also social disabilities. These things showed me how I can apply my weakness and turn them into strengths in the classroom by learning more about the brain. It's the aphasias, the autism spectrum, and all psycholinguistic concepts that are already available to apply in the future in the classroom in a specific event of my students, which give me a feeling of satisfaction at the end of the course, which give me the basis to understand myself and my students in order to find the best way to teach a second language, taking into account psychological, linguistical, and neurobiological factors to make it easier and to go beyond my perspectives in the class, like a future